Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of On Deck. I'm Russ Morgan. Glad that he finally came on, joined by Fitz Stanza from the pregame, postgame Dolphins show, and probably does a lot other that I don't know about. But I'm glad he finally made it on for some postseason coverage. I know originally an Expos fan, but I mean, unfortunately, they're not there anymore. So I know it's a little nicer for him right now being a baseball fan because he's sitting back and just getting to watch without having to stress out. But Evan, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm just going to be reaching out to Bobby because I don't know what he did with one of the bottom buttons. He always gets the shows mixed up, whether it's Real Talk Finch Talk or On Deck. He needs to fix this for us because I don't play around with the bottom. So as you're talking about what's going on in the playoffs, I'm going to be fixing this because this is bothering the heck out of me. So I thought he set this up for me before I jumped on. So I'm doing great. Honestly, baseball playoffs, best time of the year. I love it. It's so much fun. I've been pins and needles watching all these games, and none of them are even my team. So the fact that baseball playoffs, there's nothing like it. I love it. I love this format. I love this format.
I'm with you too. I mean, obviously, I've worked in baseball used to work in baseball and play baseball and there's a lot of people I know they're baseball fans. They'll be like, "Oh, well, who do you follow?" I'm a Dodgers fan. I'm like, "Who else do you follow?" I follow the Dodgers. I'm like, "So you're a Dodgers fan?" I'm like you. I follow every team. Like, even if my Yankees are out, I'm watching baseball. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's no time like this, and there's no time like this right now because we got baseball, October baseball. We got the NFL going. We got college football, and on the 7th, the NHL's back. So there's not going to be a single day you don't have sports on.
Exactly. It's like this is the best time of the year when you have baseball, hockey, and football happening at the same time. College football, it's the best. It's the best.
Well, I see you got the Jays hat on, and I think they should go back. I mean, it's you see when you go back to the 2020, 2014, 2015, and when Toronto was very good, making it to the World Series, and it was an ALCS, the passion the fans in Canada had.
Yeah.
And it was electric. And, I mean, knowing what happened to the Blue Jays, I mean, the Expos, I mean, it was like we've just they're the best team in 94, 95.
Oh, for sure. But even in the 80s, like if even in the 80s, they were a farm system for so many baseball teams. Like in the 90s, for the American League, like we were a farm system for a lot of teams. I talked about on our Finch Talk Sports Network post-game show. There's a big documentary happening on the Montreal Expos. Who killed the Montreal Expos? I recommend everyone who's a baseball fan or just even a documentary fan of all sports to go watch it. Because even as a fan like me, who's obsessed with the Expos and wears the logo proudly every single day, you don't know what really happened. And I lived through it, right? I lived through 82 to 9. They were there for 10 years, but then I got to live through really some amazing years of baseball. And then I was really aware of what was going on from 94 to 2003. And it was heartbreaking. It was absolutely heartbreaking. That was my teenage years. And it was heartbreaking. Into my 20s. It was heartbreaking.
I feel you on that, dude. I mean, I live and die with everything. And I know I probably shouldn't start with the Yankees because I'm very heated and I get a little too passionate on the Yankees. And I know I've talked to people like, "Oh, you're a young guy." I'm like, I grew up with. Well, first off, my dad's from New York, so that's why I'm a Yankees fan. Yankees Jets. You know, I got Thurman. He went to Yankee Stadium. Thurman Munson was his best, his favorite player, and then Joe Namath. So I got the Jets. I mean, it's been a a tough 34 years of my life being a Jets fan, but I'm happy about it. But that's why I got the Yankees. It's usually Jets, Mets, Yankees, Giants. But my grandfather, who I got my real love of baseball for, he used to play in the band where the St. Paul Saints play.
Yeah,
He was in the band for that, and now they're a AAA team for the Twins. He was a Red Sox fan, but I used to listen to all his, Ted Williams, Lou Gehrig. I mean, he would be at 95 years old. I'd walk in and baseball would be on. He'd just be watching 162 games a year. So, I mean, that's where I get my love. And my grandfather was a Red Sox fan. I hate the Red Sox, but I'm like, at the end of the day, even if you're a Red Sox or Yankees fan, you can say this is having the Red Sox and Yankees playing the playoffs is just good for the game.
Yeah, when the AL East is doing good in baseball, it's good for the game because you have Canada in it. It helps bring more eyes to the league because the Blue Jays are not Canada's team. But for me, baseball, as a kid, just to give an example, I grew up playing baseball. Like I played all sports, but it was the one sport I was the best at. I was a catcher for most of my career from the age of 7 to like the age of 20. And it was my most enjoyable thing to do. And I went to so many baseball games because when you were, you're not going to be happy. Oh, you're not going to be happy. Not going to be happy. Guys, we get to watch the Yankee Red Sox as we're doing this. So you guys get raw reaction right now.
Yeah.
The Red Sox just hit a home run, and it's now Trevor Story's having quite a game. That's his second RBI of the game. That's his third RBI game. It's all 3 RBIs. He brought in 2 before. But no, being an Expos fan, it was just easy to go to games because it was not expensive to go. There's something to do with your friends. You could do it with your parents. It wasn't expensive to go to the ballpark. Where we played was not great. The Olympic Stadium at the Big O, which still stands to this day, the concrete monstrosity. They're fixing the roof for $700 million. I have no idea why. I think to bring in the World Cup and things like that. But no, like when they left, a lot of people became Nationals fans. I could not get behind that whatsoever. So I started just enjoying baseball for what it was, and over time, I started because they're Canada's team. I started getting more attracted to the Blue Jays. So I cheer for the Blue Jays if the Expos were not around. They were never in the same division. They were never competing with each other. Like I can like the Blue Jays, but in hockey, I hate the Maple Leafs. I'll never cheer for the Maple Leafs. I hate the Senators who are in Ottawa. Like a lot of the local teams in Canada, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
So like I'm one of those people where if you just to give a side note about hockey. There's all this thing about the next Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup, and I'm one of those guys I'm actually one of the few people that doesn't want a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup before the Canadians win it again. So, like, I'm actually pro only Canadians in Canada, but in baseball, I'm more liberal, and I will cheer. I'm a very, very, very big fan of the Blue Jays.
Well, unfortunately, Expos aren't there, but which is unfortunate for you. And I mean, you don't see it much in baseball where teams actually move. But like in other sports, like in basketball, like in football, like we saw this year with Cam Ward getting drafted by the Titans when they moved from Houston to Tennessee, and he wore 1 in college, and he asked Warren Moon, "Can I wear number 1?" And Warren Moon's like, "Yeah, why not? I never played in Tennessee. Why do you, that doesn't matter. There's never going to be a number 1 for the Houston Oilers or." Like Gary Payton with Oklahoma City, because that's the Supersonics. He's like, I don't want my number up there. I didn't play for that team. I played for the Supersonics.
Well, the Ravens are sort of the Browns, right? Like it's one of those weird things, right? Like like in hockey, you have the Carolina Hurricanes, and sometimes it makes everyone sick that when they're wearing the Hartford Whaler uniform, or the fact that when they have the audacity for the Nationals to wear anything Expos, I go, how? No, I would. It makes me sick. Like, don't ever associate the Montreal Expos with the Washington Nationals. There's no association. To me, it is cut at the knees.
Right when they left. Well, we had some solid action yesterday.
Oh, it was great yesterday.
Great games yesterday. Right off the bat, we had an AL Central matchup. Guardians versus the Tigers.
Yeah, by the way, we all do it.
Right.
It's like when you walk. It's like the Indians are like when you walk. It's like saying the Redskins. And it's like when someone tells you, "Oh, I need a tissue," you don't say, "I don't need a tissue. I need a Kleenex." Like Kleenex is not what it is. It's a tissue. That the Kleenex is the biggest brand, right? Like, I want to. When you walk into a store, I want Coke. Oh, you want Pepsi? It's like it's interchangeable. Indians, Guardians, like you can't say Guardians. Like what are you talking about? No one knows what you're talking about.
But I mean, Tigers won 2-1. Tarek Scuba
Oh
goes
my
7
God.
2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 14 Ks. Gavin Williams went 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs for the Guardians. Tigers recorded 5 hits. Javi Baez is hot right now.
Yeah.
2 for 3 today, 2 for 4, 2 for 3 yesterday.
But there were some
Tigers-
mistakes made. There were 2 key mistakes in that game.
Tigers won on had the go-ahead run on a sacrifice bunt. Guardians 4 hits. Arias had the 1 RBI. And obviously today, Guardians kind of jumped out in that 8th and had a big 8th, won 6-1. Casey Mize only went 3 innings, 1 run, 7 hits. Baez 2 for 4, an RBI. Guardians, they went 6 runs or 5 runs in the 8th.
Yeah.
BB went 4, 5 hits, 1 run. But I mean, it seems, in my opinion, it seemed very even.
Yeah, very even series.
Very even series. Is there an X factor for either of these teams? I mean, tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Who's going tomorrow?
Who's going tomorrow? Is Flaherty going tomorrow?
Flaherty.
That's your strategic. It's Flaherty.
I mean, I mean, this is back and forth, and
he didn't have a good fight. He didn't have a good season. He's still a playoff. He's still a capable pitcher.
On both sides, there's great stories on both sides.
Yeah.
One with the Guardians being unbelievable, coming back down from 15.5 games, and the Tigers losing the division. But I mean, do you think with the Guardians getting out so hot today, putting up 5 runs in the 8th, do you think that might have shifted the momentum a little bit?
Not in this kind of series. Only because, for me, Jack Flaherty had a rough season as a pitcher, but he's still a veteran pitcher. And I think they're going to in this kind of a game, the fact that also just the one advantage, no team that has ever lost game 1 of this 3-game series has ever won the series. So if the Indians win today, the Guardians, see, I already did it. If the Guardians win tomorrow, they're going to be the first.
I don't care.
For me, it's right now, it's a matter of who pitches better. I'm learning that right now. It's right now, like I said, yesterday in the game, one of the key mistakes that almost cost the Tigers was when the Guardians brought in their lefty and they left carry. Usually they have I forget the right-handed pitcher, the right-handed batter they had sitting on the bench. But against lefties, he has like over a 950 OPS. But then they left Kerry Carpenter in, who doesn't hit well off lefties, and that could have cost them. Then you look at the Guardians; they were going to tie that game. The problem was that Ramirez, a veteran, made a very boneheaded mistake and let off when the ball was hit. He reacted too quickly. He should have waited a minute. There was only 1 out, and then the closer was able to close the game and best. So for me, this is literally a crapshoot. It's whose pitcher goes the furthest. Whichever pitcher is able to pitch the strongest. If you have to make this a relief game, I'll put it this way: if the Tigers have to make this a relief game, they'll probably lose. If Flaherty can go 6+, then the Tigers will win.
I'm with you. I think the one thing that will be kind of an X factor here is, even though Jack Flaherty had a very poor regular season.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He is very good in October.
Yeah.
He was great last year for the Dodgers. Yeah. And if you can give him a nice 6 innings, which we didn't see today, I would give him that. But I mean, the Tigers bats have not been there minus Baez. No. And the one thing that with the Guardians, if you can get Stephen Kwan going and Jose Ramirez with Kwan right at the top of the lineup, I wouldn't get Kwan going, because I mean, he gets on base, he wreaks havoc too. I got to see him in college. He was amazing. Yeah. Amazing college team with him, Adley Rutschman, Nick Madrigal. They had that lefty pitcher who got suspended. Yeah. I don't remember his name, but the Tigers' offense is just not getting it done. I mean,
nothing scares you about that offense.
and nothing scares me about the pitching either. And I'm sure in your case, being a Blue Jays fan, you're wishing there would be a reseeding. If it was like, the Tigers won, because I was like, at the end of the year, I'm like, please, Tigers win this game. I'd rather play the Tigers than the Red Sox. I think we can still win this series.
Yeah.
But it's the Red Sox. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But
no matter what happens though, the only advantage for, let's say we're not getting there that far, we'll get to the Jays. For any team that the advantage of the team is not just the rest, but the team that don't have to play in the wild card series, or have to wait the division series, will get their best pitcher game one, if it's timed right. That's the biggest advantage. So, like for example, you will not have Max Fried for game one no matter what. We'll have Kevin Gosman, right? Or if you're the Brewers, you're going to have your number one guy going. If you're the Mariners, you're going to have your number one guy going. So that's the biggest difference for me when it comes to that. But
we'll
right
see.
Right now though, the cool part about the Tiger Guardian series is that until late in the game, it's been a very, very tight series. So with the next game with the Padres and the Cubs, none of these series so far, with the exception of the Reds and the Dodgers, which obviously we knew was going to be a very quick series that will end tonight. You expect. I'm not surprised these series are as tight as they are. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, it's been very tight, not very exciting of a series so far.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Who just got that base knock?
Rice.
Ben Rice. I'm going to get into that one too, because it drives me absolutely nuts.
Your biggest problem right now, and I thought last night in the Yankee series, just a note, one of the most boneheaded plays was Aaron Judge like lazily throwing that into second. Like, that's unacceptable behavior.
And I'm going to get into that guy too, because I scouted that guy in college, and I've got some stories from scouts that are great that they're totally wrong. But going into that Cubs-Padres series, yesterday Cubs won 3-1. Boyd goes 4 1/3. Suzuki they got 2 home runs, one from Kelly, one from Suzuki. Nico Horner,
back to back.
Yeah, back to back. And it's great to see. It's great to see postseason baseball back on the south side, north side of Chicago too.
Yeah, they're very good. The only thing I don't love, the only issue I have with the Cubs is how they got, like, the one stain on them last year, which bothered me, was the whole Dave Ross, Craig Counsell switcheroo, where you literally hired a manager before you fired the other. Like, that was just, for a guy who was such a huge part of the Chicago story of winning a World Series for the first time in 100+ years, to do that to somebody was not the best way to go for the Cubs. They had egg on their face for the first year.
And
they have a good team. They have a good team.
Great team. Pivetta goes 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 9 Ks. Pretty one-sided game. Padres blanked the Cubs today, 3-0. Cease goes 3 2/3, 3 hits, and then the bullpen, did their job. 6 Ks, 1 hits over 6 innings. Machado 2 RBIs. Jackson Merrill RBI. Luis Ariz, who is a guy who gets so much shit because his numbers don't get up to the standards. But if there's anybody in today's day and age who is similar to Tony Gwynn, I'm not saying he's Tony Gwynn, it's Luis Ariz. Yes, he's a contact hitter, but he gets base knocks, and that's when you see in baseball, people make mistakes when you put the ball in play. It's going to bound to happen.
Yeah.
So I love him. The center fielder I scouted, P. Crow Armstrong, in high school, and they have I got to say them at the aerial code games twice, and they have the underclass game for juniors and sophomores, and every once in a while a freshman if they're really good, and because California is so stacked and the upperclassmen is usually just for seniors. he was on it 2 years in a row, once as a junior, once as a senior, and the guy was a freak. But didn't have a great game. But I mean, the one X factor I see that might for the Cubs that is going to hurt them is they don't have Cade Horton for this. Is out, and he was so big, for the Cubs during the regular season once he got called up.
Well, if you look at them right now, if you look at how they've been playing today, like Pete Crow, Armstrong, 30, great center fielder, 30 for 30 guy this year, hasn't sniffed the ball yet. Ian Happ hasn't sniffed the ball yet. Kyle Tucker finally hit the ball. You don't have your guys coming up. Only Horner, Suzuki, and Swanson have made some sort of contact throughout the series. The biggest problem right now for the Cubs is the fact that whoever goes for them tomorrow, if the Padres can get to Morejon, Miller, and Suarez, you're done. If you give them a lead, you are done, gonzo, in this series. It's almost like that feeling. Every time I think about the domination of this, there's always one game, one moment that I always recall, and that is when they brought in Madison Bumgarner in that World Series game, and he came in like in the third inning, and literally he had pitched like 2 days before and just picked 6 innings of shutout baseball to win them a World Series. What you're seeing, honestly, like Morejon did his job, but Mason Miller, his fastball was on average 103 to 104 miles per hour. He was painting the plate. He painted corners with 104 miles an hour heaters, and the average from these relievers was 100 miles per hour. Miller, 10 consecutive strikeouts going back to the regular season to now. Faced 6 batters, had 5 strikeouts, and the only reason why the 6th batter got on is that he threw one slightly wild pitch that nibbed his pants. It didn't even hit him. It hit the side of his pants. So it's absolutely unbelievable how this team is, how this relief pitching. They've been the best relieving team in baseball, but they are lights out. Like, you get to them with a lead, like from the 5th inning on, you're going to get 2, 2, and 2, and you're done. You're done. You're not hitting off these guys.
AJ Preller did a hell of a job at the deadline getting Mason Miller, who people probably don't realize. This is only his 2nd year in the league. Yeah. So, I mean, what he did. But, I mean, you've got Darvish. You've got Tyone going for the Cubs tomorrow, which is Darvish, hurt most of the year. Was 5-5 with the 5.38 ERA. Jamison Tyone was 11-7, 3.68 ERA. Yeah, I would in this game. I toss it up, and I mean, you don't want to get to that bullpen. If Darvish gives you a solid 5 innings, you might as well just have.
Darvish is one of those pitchers, Russ. Like, you always, when you watch games, they're showing you what the pitches are. You have 3 or 4 good pitches. Darvish has an assortment. He can throw 10 pitches, 11 pitches. He has an assortment. He's a Swiss Army knife of pitches. He can struggle at different moments, but the man is a Swiss Army knife of pitching. The man can throw so many different pitches at you.
I mean, this is a guy who's October tested, and even though he had struggled, coming off injury, didn't have a great year, I have full faith in him. In you, Darvish, to be able to get it done and get to the bullpen, because this must be nice for a pitcher to go, give me 5 innings and I can just toss it over to the 3 best relievers in baseball.
Yeah, the Guardians had that a couple of years ago when they went to the World Series a couple of years ago. They had that also. When you have great relief pitching, like they were saying today, and this being the baseball aficionado that you are, it doesn't matter how good your hitters are. Like in football, defenses win championships, pitching wins you World Series. Yeah. When you have, when the Dodgers were winning, yes, you had the Justin Turners and you had the Mookie Betts and you had the Teoscar Hernandezes and you had the Shohei Ohtanis at different parts and all that all throughout the years of being great. And you had Cody Bellinger and you had Will Smith. But it was about Clayton Kershaw. It was about Walker Buehler. It was about when you had Jack Flair. Those kind of pitchers, when you have now Shohei Ohtani, when you have these kind of pitchers going out for you, you don't stand a chance. In your years of winning World Series as the Yankees, it doesn't matter. You had Derek Jeter, you had Paul O'Neill, you had Tim, you had all these great players, but your pitching is what did it. Rivera's cutter either won you or lost you.
And I will say, all those Diamondbacks fans out there, Luis Gonzalez closed his eyes, got sawed off, and hit a little bloop pop up that fell. Yeah. Luckiest hit I've ever seen. And there's only one red guy who ever scared me when he came to the plate.
What was the excuse for Edgar Renteria? Well, that was the Indian. That
was the 1 year they didn't make it.
That was the Indian. Oh, what happened with you guys with Beckett? What was your excuse with Beckett?
That team wasn't good.
Well, the Marlins in 2003 were good?
No, it went downhill there for a while. It started catching up to him.
Jack McKeon was 100 years old. You ever think about the combined age of Jack McKeon and Jim Leland? Like they had two managers whose combined age was over 150 years old. That's ridiculous to win the World Series.
It's true in baseball, and it totally flips. Offense puts butts in the seats, but in October, pitching is what gets you there. And even though, and you saw it last year with the Dodgers, their pitching, their bullpen was lights out.
Yeah, and
they play clean, flawless baseball, and like the Yankees didn't last year. But I in my opinion, this is a toss-up. I really have no clue. What I think who would be good? It would be Brewers, Padres, if whoever wins. And I've literally so there's two managers I love, and that is Terry Francona, and Pat Murphy with the Brewers. Two old school guys who are and you saw what Pat Murphy did this year with the Brewers. It's not a team that has big name guys on it.
No, they're small ball baseball. They're small ball.
It's beautiful baseball. I mean, you got Crispin Yelich, but he's not the same player.
He's not the same player at all.
And they still had 98 wins.
Yeah. So the best team in baseball.
97, excuse me.
Best team in baseball.
Best team in baseball. But I mean, I'd love to see the Dodgers lose. I don't think the Reds have it.
The Reds don't have it. They're just happy to be there. To say that they were there, but this was unexpected. This was not. Their only reason they're there is because the Mets crapped the bed.
Oh my!
The Mets lost the playoff spot. The Reds didn't win the playoff spot.
Talking about the Mets, what a collapse!
Oh, well.
But I was like, when I love Juan Soto, and I was like, I'd love to have him back, but you need to talk about his deficiencies, and that's in the outfield. He's not a good defensive outfielder. And nobody brings that up. And there's few sports, if not only in baseball, where if you don't have good fundamentals, it's going to hurt you in the long run. If I'm playing football or basketball, my athleticism can take over. But in baseball, if your fundamentals aren't good, you don't play good defense, that's going to hurt you. So, but the Mets shelling out so much money to Soto hurt them in the long run because it hurt their pitching staff, which was at the end of the year, they had 3 rookies in their pitching staff.
You can't get to the closer, the owner. They overspend. Like you can't buy a team. You can't buy your team. You just can't. You don't win because if you look at all the years you as a Yankee fan have been crushed. Pitching has got the pitchers on the other side. You got because of your pitching. If you don't win this series, it could be because you're relieving your pitching ends up hurting you. This is the different series for you. If Cole and Fried are your pitchers, right away. Rodon is a decent pitcher, but he's no superstar.
No
pitcher. He's a mid-level pitcher.
But can you imagine what the Yankees' rotation would be if they did sign Soto? Because they wouldn't have Max Fried, who's and for some reason I looked at the betting odds on Hard Rock, which we use in Florida.
Yeah,
as the only one. He's not even on there. I'm like, he was 19-5 with the 2.36 ERA. I'm like, in my opinion, the Cy Young is Crochet or Fried, not as good as Scuba. That's it. But I mean,
Patrick Skubal should not get it only because of the fact that the way the Tigers played the last month of the season, he wasn't great either.
3-3 right now, man on.
But also you can't. The names always pop up. Skubal, Speed. Like, how do you give, for example, Paul Speed, as great of a pitcher as he is, the Cy Young, because if you give it to him, I understand his stats are phenomenal, but his team sucks. I understand it's overcoming it, but at the same time, I always find that you're giving a player just for the sake of giving to them. They have to at least do something to help improve their team. By the way, every time I look at that guy on the bench there for you, I laugh. That guy is the last fact of it. The fact that his last name is Boone is kind of funny. He's a Boone head. He's not great.
That's all.
He's not great.
No,
that's it for Rodon. That's it for him.
Oh, this is gonna get bad. I got to meet Skeens when he was going into his senior year. When I was scouting.
You were in Louisiana?
No. Senior year of high school.
Oh, high school. Okay.
The biggest 6'4". But he wasn't even. He had 2 offers coming out of high school. Excuse me, Air Force and Navy. He was a primary catcher. He literally was like, I want to be a fighter pilot and I'll just play baseball because I love it. But he said he would like to go back after his career. But people going into senior year scout, other colleges were like maybe, but he was so dead set on going to the Air Force they weren't touch him. But there was a game he pitched against Jared Jones. And he wasn't even the biggest guy there in high school. Jared Jones was the big guy in California. Now, Paul Skeens, he goes 10-10 with a 1.97 ERA. That's another team that needs to, please spend some money.
Their ownership, they're never. Let me ask you something, just because I have to do. If he were to ever be traded, what would you ever be able to get back for him? Like, this is like, if whoever trades for him is going to give him a. How old is he now? Or how old is he now? He's 23 years old. Someone's going to give him a 12-year, $60 million a year contract. The guy is going to make one of the top highest paid people in baseball. So whoever trades for him is going to have to give up a lot of assets. Because what drives me about Pittsburgh, it's one of the stadiums my dream to go to. Everyone who goes to Pittsburgh is a baseball town. The way they treat that franchise since the mid-90s, since the 80s and early 90s, is a joke. It's an absolute joke.
You trade.
They've had good players. They've had McCutcheon. They've had good players. They just don't develop.
If you trade for him, it would be 5 or 6 top prospects, which not everybody has. And him being 23, why would they want to give up that club control? Being a small market team. I don't know if I randomly Pittsburgh spring training facilities here in Bradenton, Florida, where I live. So I was like, I'm going to get out to a game. So I go to like Twins Pirates. He's pitching. I'm like, oh, sick. This is who I want to watch. I'm standing there kind of doing my thing. I'm a scout. I'm walking around just like I don't want to sit. So I'm standing there and this guy's like, yeah, I've been coming here for 20 years. Skeens has like one bad at bat, and he's like, yeah, he's no good. Look at that. I can call that. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. That's NL Rookie of the Year, going to be the best pitcher for the next 10 years, 8 to 10 years. But so one of the biggest parts of that game yesterday was Nick Sogard. Nick Sogard went to Loyola Marymount University in Westchester, California. When I was scouting, and you can see even when he's playing right now, he's not a gap-to-gap guy. He's not a power hitter. I go to one of my scout buddies who's actually was a very good scout. I'm like, I like Nick Sogard. He goes, yeah, he's not going to make it. I'm like, why? He's got no power, no pop, just a slap hitter. I'm like, dude, but you see the intangibles, you see the smart, the stuff that doesn't come up in the stat sheet. And you see him now. He was the biggest part of that game.
He just popped up. He just popped up the opposite field.
Thank you. It's.
Your reliever's getting out of it. Your reliever's getting out of it.
I hope so. Please don't.
Who's getting out of it?
Please don't say that because this guy had a massive.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten our guy Dolphins Thirsty on this show since he's such a bang on Red Sox fan.
Oh, he's all he's locked in.
Yeah.
But the guy, he was like, he doesn't have it. He's no good. He's a slap hitter. I'm like, dude, Look at the little things he does that doesn't come up in the stat sheets that we don't analytics in today's day and game. If you put that guy there, it's not going to work.
You can't judge a book by its cover. Okay, I'm just telling you this because I'm such a big Jays fan. Like if you're a scout, right? Imagine you're a scout and you walk in and you're seeing a game and you see a guy, a short, chubby, burly guy standing behind home plate who looks like he has full control of the mound, full control of the baseball field, comes up to bat, waddles like Kevin Youkilis or Kirby Puckett, and hits the ball a mile. When people see Alejandro, if people saw Alejandro Cruz for the first time on a baseball field, you would probably, and that's the guy you got sent to scout, you'd probably leave. Like the guy is one of the best catchers in baseball. Period. Yeah, if I was you, if you had a choice tomorrow, straight up, Austin Wells or Alejandro Kirk, you wouldn't even blink.
There's no comparison.
Like he is, as I'm telling you, he is the next version of for the American League in baseball. The way he plays catcher, he's Salvador Perez. Like he's obviously not the same catcher. One's a much bigger, one's a much more different kind of player. But like he has been a guy who can give you 135, 140 star games easy, and just can come up to the plate and just and come out key. The guy is just great. Like so for me, you don't know what you get until you see. You don't know.
And I had, as you know, I had Jabba Chamberlain on, and we're talking analytics. If you go back to the Angels 2002 World Series, who was the MVP of the World Series?
Oh God! I looked at that lineup, and it was like I was talking to my cousin, and I looked at that lineup, and it was so rough. Like if you look at their team, what position did he play?
It's a shortstop.
Oh crap! Ross was in a third. Who was at short? I'm drawing a blank.
He was about 5'5". David Eckstein.
David Eckstein. That's who it was. What a play! Oh, I thought he saved it.
So the one issue with Rice isn't Goldschmidt's just a great defender. Eckstein crow hopped at shortstop to get the ball. Yeah. If you're telling me if you put him in an analytical anything in it, he's not playing baseball.
No.
I mean, so that's my problem. My problem with the analytics. I get it. There's got to be some analytics in baseball nowadays.
Yeah.
But these teams like Aaron Boone, who play so much analytics, it doesn't work, especially when you get to October. You got to play with feel.
Yeah, you can't just because the analytics tell you have to bring. It works in certain cases, but it doesn't work for playoff baseball because you have to go with your gut. Are you telling me that if Randy Johnson or Pedro Martinez or Kirk Schilling or Roger Clemens or Greg Maddux or Tom Glavine or John Smoltz are standing there and you're walking up to them, they're saying to you, sorry, analytics tells me I have to take you out now. They're going to take you out. Because for me, I don't know if you know this, the most hilarious moment for my cousin, one of my closest cousins who I talk to almost every day, his favorite moment of all time, and you'll know what it is, Fenway Park, Pedro Martinez doing this. Do you know who he did this to?
Brady.
No. Bald-headed guy who used to sit next to Joe Torre, to Don Zimmer, right? Like, that is old school baseball. Like, you tell these guys, do you have to come out? Would you ever have the audacity if you're Aaron Boone or you're walking up to Randy Johnson and say, Randy, give me the ball? It's a fourth inning, and the analytics tells me that in the fourth inning.
Well, and that's my problem is, and you saw Dave Roberts is now, he had a lot of this problems from 2016 to 2020, where he would play his analytics, his card, going card by card. I'm like, you can't do that. So we got Max Fried, went 6 1/3, throwing shutout ball. This guy is a guy who just got an 8-year, $218 million contract, and you're going to pull him because of the situation, because he got a righty.
Kevin Cash. You had Blake Snell was going.
Blake Snell's the same story.
No, do you remember that game against the Dodgers? It was a final elimination game for the Rays, and you take out your number one pitcher.
Yeah, I don't know. Bizarre.
Based on analytics.
That could have changed the race.
Yeah. The moment he took him, he lost the series. It was over.
Oh, please, no. Oh,
You saved yourself.
But I mean, you pull him. I would have loved Max Fried, like, see him come out and be like, "Go sit the hell down." Like, I can throw 118 pitches. Let me get out of this inning. This guy, you just gave up 8 years, 218 million. He's making 50 million plus. You just win and die with them. And your bullpen's been crap for the last, since the All-Star break. It's terrible. The last 2 months has been miserable.
Cruz is a little excited, eh? Cruz is a little excited, eh?
Oh, please.
By the way,
but
he realized it's only a tie game, right?
Yeah, I know.
He got out of it.
The one thing I will say, the Yankees scored 1 run. So you can't win a lot of ball games scoring 1 run. But I remember we're talking about old school baseball. Barry Bonds literally, he goes, these hitters don't have to be scared anymore. I knew if I hit a home run, the next time I come up, I'm getting one in the ribs because I'm like, that's how it works. I've literally gotten into arguments with my friends who are, when Shohei Ohtani gets hit and like, oh, that's BS, that's Bush League. I'm like, dude, that's baseball.
Of course, it's like hockey. It's like any
sport. I mean, like, send a message. And that's my hate. I grew up hating the Red Sox. It's not the same anymore because it's not the same.
No.
It's not the same rivalry because it's all friends. I'm like drilling.
Yeah.
I wanted right off the bat, just give them a little chin music, buzz them.
Exactly. By the way, I haven't had a chance to ask you this because I'm on the show with you, and I meant to ask you on Sunday. What was your reaction about the robo-umps and challenging with the robo-umps? What are your thoughts?
Say it again.
The decision in the 2026 season to be able to have challenges and use the robo-umps.
Oh my! I really don't know how I feel about it. I really don't know. I think it's going to be overused.
You only get 2 a game, right?
Yeah, it's just
you only get 2 total per game.
Two a game. But I feel there's only one person who should be calling those challenges, and that's the catcher. In my opinion, I don't. And pitchers are going to think, and every time now our hitters, I'm like, no, the catcher is probably the only guy who should challenge that. I'm not really a huge fan of that. I also do, being a catcher, there's an art form in catching. And with Alejandro Kirk, there's an art form.
There's a place.
And is this going to take away the art form of catching? So, but
because sometimes a corner pitch was a corner pitch because of the fact that the glove was properly placed.
Yeah. And I mean, so I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if we're going to have a 26 season whenever that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they are going on strike is the whole word. But
I don't think Manfred's going to allow that to happen. There's too much money.
Manfred's a jackass. I probably just got myself canceled.
I know, but who's after him? Like, they're all bad. They're all bad, right? Like, Bud Selig was worse to me.
Bud Selig was bad, too.
Right? He was way worse. So,
but I like this Yankees team. Honestly, my big thing with last year's Yankees team was they were not fundamentally sound.
No.
And they still, if they win Game 5, I'm telling you, they would have won that World Series. But the thing was, Game 1, Soto made 2 very bad defensive plays. Gleyber Torres should have gotten in front of the ball. Shohei gets to third. He scores a run. Aaron Boone making I don't care what anybody says. The dumbest decision he made in Game 1 was putting in Nestor Cortez, who hadn't thrown live batters in an actual game for a month and a half, to face Freddie Freeman. And I know a lot of people who are diehard Mets fans, and they'll tell you straight up, there's one guy I don't want to face, and that's Freddie Freeman. The guy is just a gamer, and he'll find a way to get a hit. But you go into Game 5, Garrett Cole starts pouting, and as you know, being a baseball guy, you get second grade. You're 9. What is a pitcher doing? PFPs. You're busting your ass to get to first base.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I like this. I love Bellinger. They're better, but they still drive me absolutely nuts. I will criticize my team so much.
Oh, your team defensively. I got to go to a game this season. I got to the Yankee Stadium for the first time in my life. That was quite an experience. I sat 10 rows back behind the plate. It was a very cool experience. But defensively, that was the game we played. I don't know if you remember. It was early July. You guys were playing the Mariners. It was 5-0. You guys, people started walking out of the building when the guy hit the 3-run homer. It was over, and then you guys came back and Judge ended it on a sacrifice fly for you guys to win in the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of 10, sorry, bottom of 10. But your team defensively is laughable. Like you guys make it, like your team defensively is what hurts you the most. Like they make boneheaded after boneheaded after boneheaded mistake that is incomprehensible to me. Like you're talking about baseball 101. It's like when in the movie Angels of the Outfield and Danny Glover comes in, we're going to be here 9 tomorrow. We're going to work on fundamentals. That's what you guys need to do. The fundamentals of baseball. Yeah. The fundamentals of baseball are lacking with the New York Yankees. They're missing what they had with Jeter and what you had when he was around. Like their defense, but there's nothing there. Volpe is not Jeter. You don't have a first baseman at that skill set. You don't have a second baseman. You don't have it. You don't have your Scott Brocious anymore. You don't have that group. You don't have that outfield. You have a Bernie Williams and Tim Raines and Paul O'Neill. You don't have that anymore. It doesn't exist.
Bellinger's the one.
He's good. He's very good. He's very good. He's
very
good.
Great defensively. Yeah. But I mean, it was like we spoke earlier, a lapse. Very lazy play in the outfield, and Sogard made a very heads-up play to get to second, to make it second and third. But I mean, it helped they got McMahon because he's nails at third base.
Yeah.
But his bat is not very good right now, so that's a problem. Volpe will never be Jeter, and but it's just that's baseball. Baseball is you win in October. You have good pitching, a good bullpen, and you play solid defense. And they don't.
You're a home run team. You're a home run team.
Yeah, home run. I mean, like, can I get a guy like I'm a huge Jose Caballero fan because what does he do? He get at the plate. He fouls off 7 pitches to get his pitch. He creates havoc.
That's the Blue. By the way, that's the team here. They are the best team in baseball.
No, yeah, but I will say. With the Blue, they don't. Yes, you have Vladimir Guerrero. Yeah, you have Bo Bichette. But I mean, Ernie Clement at third base is having an unbelievable year.
I thought he was more short when he got injured. Yeah, but Ernie Clement takes long bit. Anthony Barger could be get too quick, but then he got such power on his swing. Lucas can be up there forever. George Springer's having the best year of his life.
Unbelievable year. I mean, you got Andres Jimenez.
Grissom just had a good hit.
You got Jimenez, who's a silver.
Yeah, but $20 million for a guy batting just above the Mendoza line is a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, what he does at second base is, I mean, he's defensively so great.
But honestly, the most underrated player on defense, I'm telling you, I think he's probably one of the best defensive outfielders you'll ever see, and he was already great in Arizona. The Dalton Varsho. That guy. In center field is otherworldly. The guy gets to a ball faster than anyone I've ever seen. He doesn't look like that, but the man is just so good defensively. It's amazing, and it's amazing.
I was really hoping Anthony would pop in because he called me when Alonso re-signed. I'm talking about the Mets.
Oh, he's already opted out right after the game, eh? You saw that?
No.
I wish. He's a free agent again. He opted out the moment. This interview, he announced in his post-game interview.
Oh no!
I opted out. I'm a free agent again.
Out.
No one's.
But
the Jays were interested in signing him, and I'm happy they did.
You know, Anthony's on your show all the time.
Yeah, Anthony Manzano. Yeah.
We're talking about the Mets. First off, he told me Soto and Judge are more similar of a batter than that. I was like, well, Judge and Alonso are more similar. Soto is not similar to either of them.
No.
I was like, Alonso will hit 35 to.
Well, Mr. Strikeout just got struck out.
Alonso will get like 35 to 40 home runs. He's like, Russ, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. He's going to hit 20 to 25. I'm like, well, he hit 38 this year. So who's right? Me.
Yeah.
But I mean,
what was he swinging at?
He's got a
That
belly.
was a nasty slider, but still.
Was his Whitlock? Yeah, what on belly? Ugh.
But you know what I was shocked by the game, by the way? Did you notice how? I understand it's 6 o'clock and they're not used to it. Wrigley Field at 3 o'clock today was jam packed, not a seat in the house. Those lower seats for the Yankees at 6 o'clock, it was empty.
It's
yeah. Like you could.
It doesn't have the same feel. Old Yankee Stadium had feel. This one, and I've talked to my dad.
It's still beautiful.
Beautiful, but I've talked to my dad who's been to both of them. You know, the original and then the old Yankee Stadium. This one has a corporate feel.
Oh, for sure. I sat up in the Audi Lounge and all that. I remember I'm a Canadian, right? I'm from Montreal Canadian. The new place we've been playing in for the last 30 years. Me as a kid going to the Montreal Forum versus going there, it's a completely different feel. Like when you walk into a new stadium, it has that corporate feel. It's not the same thing. That's why what I like. Rogers Center, I actually like what they did with it because they made it a little more intimate and the angles in which you can see the players is better. They took away some seats, which is frustrating for some people. But the way they angled the seats, you feel more involved. It's actually better.
Not like the ones they have at Fenway, which face this way.
Exactly. This one, every seat you can see at the angle. It's phenomenal.
Is that what are those? It's a hotel in center field at Rogers.
No, so basically, since forever, Marriott has a hotel that's attached to it, and in left field there's about 12 or 13, 12, 15 hotel rooms that you can get you can stay in the hotel, get that room, and your view is of left field from left field of the stadium.
I'm sure those aren't cheap.
No, but you could probably do it. Honestly, I think that's the best place to do it, like a bachelor party or something. Like go to a game and rent that. That'd be super cool.
Yeah. Well, we got 3-3 going into the top of the eighth for the Yankees right now. Need the win, obviously. We'll go shortly on the Dodgers. Obviously, won last night 10-5. Got
Ohtani started the game off. Like right away, Green gave up a whole bunch to Ohtani, the first batter of the game.
It was a homecoming for him, too. Hunter Green's from Los Angeles, went to school right down the street.
But you know what bothers me? What do you think the number? You know what the biggest distraction is of watching a game in Dodger Stadium? Seats behind you are so goddamn low, and you have Mary Hart and her husband sitting there. They have been there every playoff game, every time, and it's the first pitch of the season. All you see is Mary Hart doing this. And I go, I try to watch the game, and all you see is Mary Hart. You're right through. Like right now, every time a writer's, I don't know if you ever watched the show Blue Bloods. What's his name? What's his? He was on Sopranos too. I'm gonna tell you his name. Not by his name. The guy's name is Steve Sherpa. Steve Sherpa. If I showed you a picture, if you look up his name, you'll recognize him. Every time the right batter comes up tonight, he's right there in Yankee Stadium. Like when the celebrities are right there. Like today at Wrigley Field, on one angle, you saw Chris Chelios every time, or you saw John Cusack every time. It's like, can I watch the game? Why do the celebrities have to be on every single angle of every single game?
That's Los Angeles for you. And you see
even Chicago, but the Mary Hart right there, every game. Why do you have to put her right there? She hasn't been relevant in 30 years.
You see Rob Lowe every game.
Every game.
But, I mean, Shohei, right off the bat, 119 off the bat. Betts 2 for 4. Freeman, of course, 2 for 4. Hernandez 3 for 5.
Muncy wasn't that great last night. He came out 3 times. Betts was not great.
Betts was 2 for 4.
But honestly, the guy, he's the one guy I always liked in Toronto, but I understand why he left. But he almost came back. He would have come back if the Dodgers didn't give him a good contract as Teoscar. Like he's just a gamer.
That was the steal of the offseason. The Dodgers got him for a 1-year deal because he's really turned his career around.
And he's been a great playoff performer for them in the last 2 years so far, just including.
But I mean, I don't. Like we said, I don't see much for this series. The Reds with Yamamoto, Zach Little.
But whoever goes in this series goes against. They get the Phillies, eh?
That's going to be a great series.
Can you imagine the Dodgers and the Phillies? Oh my God!
But the bad thing is it's a 5-game series.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me 7 games of this.
Yeah. I meant to ask you this about the playoffs. What were your thoughts back in the All-Star game on how they handled that home run derby? Because what really bothered me about what Boone did is he cost the American League home field advantage in the World Series by the way he strategic.
That's not a thing anymore.
Oh, it's not a thing anymore.
No.
It's best record?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. That's not a thing anymore? I thought it was.
No,
when did they get rid of that?
AL won last year.
When did they get rid of it? Oh, so the Dodgers let off the best record. Okay.
Yeah, best record.
I thought that was kind of stupid. Okay, they got rid of it. I was just making sure.
I know. I don't watch any All-Star. I hate all All-Star.
That was awful. Kyle Schwarber, what a play. Jesus.
But I mean, going in that, I'm like, give me a 7-game series. This is gonna be unbelievable, and we're gonna get 5 games. Because I'm you know.
What do you think about these 3-game series all being in the same place? You like that?
Yeah, it's. I got no comment.
Okay.
I really don't. It's. I'm so into this right now, and I'm nervous out of my mind, Evan Fistanza. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
Oh, dude, I got Alex Bregman. First off,
see right there. Steve Sherpa's right behind Alex Bregman's head. I see his big fat head behind him.
Yankees yesterday 2-1. I'm like, okay, it's up, and there he goes. There. They're up 2-1 yesterday. Who comes up? It's Alex Bregman. Of course, he's going to get to give him a nice 2-run lead. What does Alex Bregman do? The guy's just clutch.
He's just a weird hitter. The way he still chokes up on his bat, it's hilarious.
I love it. I'm like, I don't see players nowadays. I'm like 2 strikes, choke up, put the ball in play.
Yeah.
Now it's like.
Oh, by the way, that was one of my greatest joys. Not to see the Astros in the playoffs, that was a pleasure.
It's but
talk about a guy this year who completely regressed, and the way he played in the last stretch of the season, making mistake after mistake after mistake was Altuve. Like he crapped the bed. Crapped that bed.
But I mean, looking into the future, obviously, we got the Jays who ended up, with the best record because they had the head-to-head against the Yankees.
By the way, they had the tiebreaker against every single team.
Yeah, so I mean, that was
it against the Mariners. They had it against the Guardians. They had it against the Tigers. They had it against everybody.
How are you feeling going in? With their pitching staff, with the Gausman.
I'll tell you why I'm okay. Because Gausman is a gamer. Shane Bieber is a gamer. Trey Yasevich has been one of the top prospects in baseball, has been amazing for his first 2 starts. What a great start for his career to loosen up there. They're going to get Chris Bassett back. Chris Bassett, I think, of all the pitchers on the Jays staff, is the most consistent pitcher they have. Like, he will give you a good start no matter what. And as long as, for example, they have a tough decision between Mason Fluharty, Jeff Hoffman makes me very, very nervous. But they're Anthony Dominguez, and they have they have a good pitching staff with Little, and they have lefty righty that really works. I'm not concerned. Like Barrios, if he was in a playoff game, would concern me. The number one pitcher that concerns me in the series, who I would only pitch I may not even start him as a pitcher in the playoffs, is Scherzer. Yeah, because if I had a choice tomorrow, you're going to laugh. If I had a choice between 41-year-old Max Scherzer or a young Tyson Trey Yasevich in a game 3 of a playoff game or game 4 of a playoff game, I'm giving the ball to Trey Yasevich because what's going to happen with Max Scherzer is he's going to pitch 1 good inning. Then the next guy's going to come up. He's going to throw a fastball 95 miles an hour. The guy's going to crush it, and it's going to be down. That's the problem with Max Scherzer. He is going to guarantee you a home run for the other team no matter what. So that's where I'm nervous, is how they're going to utilize Max Scherzer. That's where I'm concerned, and where Jeff Hoffman comes in. But if you look at the Blue Jays,
if I was the Jays, I'd stick with not Barrios. Kind of makes me nervous just being a baseball.
No, he's injured. He's on the 15-day DL. You don't have to worry.
Well, that's good. I wouldn't have him in the rotation.
No,
I'm a college baseball fanatic, so I knew Trey Yasevich from his Eastern Carolina days, where he was one of the best pitchers in college baseball. Was unbelievable. So I'm not surprised at all.
But Louis Varland, by the way, I don't know if you know Louis Varland, who they got in the middle of the year, when he did that opener game against the Red Sox last week, phenomenal. Between him and Little, and what's his name, Fisher, And like I said, you have Sir Anthony Dominguez, you have Yariel Rodriguez. They have a very good. The nervous wracking is Hoffman, because if Hoffman's put in a position where he has to really close the game with a one run lead and the top of the line's coming up, you're doomed. You're doomed. He's gonna blow it because he has a bit of the yips. So the thing about them is they need good starting pitching and they need to have the right setup where Hoffman has enough of like a 2-3-1 lead to come in. If you give him a 1-run lead, the game's over. He will blow it. I don't like Jeff Hoffman anymore. He's a great guy. I think he's been a leader. He did his job this year, but he had the yips at the end of the year. I'm more comfortable with a Louis Varlin or a Sir Anthony Dominguez to be there towards the end, not him. But the problem with the Jays is that they're very analytical also. Ross Atkins and Mike Shapiro are very analytical. And this year, Russ, if it didn't go well, Schneider, Shapiro, and Atkins would have been gone. Sia Salah la visit. Now, you potentially have Ross Atkins winning, potentially has a chance to win executive of the GM of the year. And you have John Schneider, who probably will win manager of the year.
100%. I mean,
and these are guys who were literally on the verge of being fired before the season.
Nobody saw this coming. I mean,
not from a mile away.
A mile away, and right off the bat, the Jays do the one thing that they give Vlad Guerrero a massive contract, which I was very I don't know about this, but he's having a hell of a year. Also, with them is you might have Anthony Santander coming off the bench, who's now healthy, who's got massive power.
Massive power on the left side.
So, I mean, it's
they have speed for days. Honestly, when you look at a guy like a Davis Schneider and the look of him, that's a baseball player, right? They have guys, they have dogs. George Springer, I don't want to if they the best thing that happened to this team when I said they have to win the division was because they did this down the stretch without Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette, look at Bo Bichette's stats for a second, okay? Injured twice throughout the year. 139 games he played. The man literally had 181 hits, 44 doubles, 94 RBIs, 41. Let me just look here, and batted .311, and had an OPS of 840. The man, that was what was missing. They're missing their cleanup hitter. The guy defensively is very, very good. And even if you wanted to DH him for the first game or two, you could. You could put Springer in right and not have to worry so much. Put Lucas in left and put Varshall in center or rotate whoever that is. Also, it depends on who's playing, right? That's the cool part about the Jays. Is if it's lefty-righty, they could take a Nathan Lucas and not play it. If it's a righty, they can play Nathan Lucas. If it's a lefty, they can play Davis Schneider. If it's a lefty, they can play Miles Straw. The Barger can go from third to the outfield. The Schneider can go from left to second. Clement can go from second to third to short. Barger can go from outfield to third base. Springer could play all three outfields. Guerrero in a pinch, if they really needed him, could go back to third, even though he's a Gold Glove. And if they needed somebody, they can put Nance at first. There's so many abilities there, and Heineman is a good backup catcher. The team is just there. The team is built for playoff baseball because they play small ball. If you've gone the stretch, Russ, Guerrero was one of their worst hitters. He was a guy who was striking. They had big innings. Guerrero would end the inning on a strikeout, but the man hustles. He's that guy who, if you hit a little blooper for his size, he'll get to first and he'll be safe because he hustles. And for a guy who sucked at third base in his first couple of years of his career, when he moved to first, he makes plays at first. He doesn't just sit there. There was a game where he was playing first and he got the guy out at third because the guy was cheating. The guy was running from second and he got there because he got to keep. The guy is just a gamer. The team is very, very, very well coached from the defensive side of the ball. Even if they're struggling hitting wise, they don't make errors. They don't make a lot of errors, which is very, very important in this time.
You've got Guerrero. I know we talked about this before when we did the draft show before we went on. Do you want the Blue Jays to re-sign Bo Bichette now after Bichette's .311 on the year?
Well, they have to re-sign him. He's a leader, especially if they do because I'll put it this way:
I know when you before you're like, no, he's not coming back.
No, I don't think he was coming back because of the fact that I thought that with the Schneider stuff, they were going to do a little bit of a reset. Oh, did he just? Oh, because they were going to do a little bit of a reset, but now, if Bichette comes back and they go far in the playoff, he's a linchpin. Like he has to be back. Like I'll put it to you this way: if he's back for the playoffs, the Jays are going to go to the World Series. If he's not back for the first part of the series and he misses 2 or 3 games, they're done. They're not going to. They might sneak out of the division series, but they're not going to make it to a World Series. They need Bo Bichette in the clutch. The same way back in the day, you had your Jose Bautista and Edward Encarnacion in the playoffs. As good as Springer has been, as good as Barger has been, as good as Lucas has been, as good as Kirk has been, you need your 2 key stars to be your best players, and that is Guerrero and Bichette.
Yeah. I mean, and he's your shortstop. Your shortstop is your leader of your team. Yeah. And should be. That's how it should be.
He's better than his dad. That's the one thing, though. I'll run here a prediction. As much as no matter what Guerrero does, as great of a player he is, he'll never be better than his dad. Bichette has the potential to be better than his dad, if he already is. Dante was a good player, but Bo will be a better player long term. Vladimir, as much as I love Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he cannot lace up his father's cleats. He cannot lace up his father's cleats because there's no player. I got to watch him. There's no player, Russ, who had the ability to hit a ball 400 feet, low and outside. Then a ball is hit to the corner and right. The guy tries to extend it to a triple, and he can make the throw from the right field corner without a bounce into the third baseman's glove. Sweet. The guy literally played hard-nosed baseball. All you had to do was give him a stick and a glove, and he was there. No warm-up, no nothing. It was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. The guy was phenomenal. Like, unbelievable. To watch him play, I'll put you this way. The best player I ever got to watch play for me personally, because he became my hero as a player, was Tim Raines. Tim Raines was my favorite player. Pedro was a phenomenal. But the player, it goes from Tim Raines to Vladimir Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero, that is a baseball player. Yeah. A dog. Like we say in football, that is a guy who didn't do it for the money. He didn't do it for the fame. The man did it because the guy was so good at the freaking game. He could bobble a ball. Pick it up, throw it. You're out.
He had a cannon.
No, not a cannon. The ball never bounced.
And he'd hit the ball off the ground and it'd still go 400 feet.
Yes, opposite field. Towered. Phenomenal baseball player.
I got to see him a lot when he came to the Angels. I used to go to Angels spring training and get to go to every single Angels Yankees game. And because my best friend had 6 rows behind the visitors dugout. So I'd go to like every Angels Yankees game. I was at game 3 of the AL Wow DS. Hey, Bobby, how's it going, man? Game 3 when they blew that. And that was
Real Talk Fitz Talk only does an hour. But people don't realize, and you're going to learn, none of my shows ever go an hour. Never go an hour.
Never go. If I'm talking by myself, I'm like,
all shows. I was on with Dahl with Courtney last night on her show, and we've done shows where we've like, wait, is that a 3 on the live?
I've done, the longest I went was, minus the draft show, I went like 2 hours with Jabba Chamberlain. Yeah. And then finally he was like, man, this has been great. I got to go eat dinner. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna go troll their show, and I realized, wait, it's Real Talk Fitz Talk. Steve Malloy is on a clock. I think he has like a countdown clock where a show has to end.
I had one time where I texted Bobby. I mean, he'd be like, "Yeah, he'll go away and do his thing, and be like, yeah, just shoot me a text when you're wrapping up, like 5 minutes before I'll come back to end it." So I text him, and like 10 minutes before, I'm like, "Hey, I got 5-10 minutes." He's like, didn't respond. He was outside with Tristan playing basketball or something.
Or he was eating dinner. If it's anywhere between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern time, he's eating dinner.
So I do my exit and everything, and I'm sitting there and it doesn't go off. I'm like, well, I guess I just lied. I'm still going.
Next time, text me. I'll jump. Another way, if ever you need to end the show and that lazy guy there doesn't answer, I could do it from my phone, so I could quickly end it for you.
But it was like
on my phone.
Bobby's like, you could have gone longer. I'm like, dude, I had nothing left to say.
What's to say?
I was like,
you could have sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" about 100 times.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something. What do you think of George Springer? I feel like this guy. He did for the first 4 years being with this team. Like he was a complete and utter disappointment. But like fountain of youth. Batted .309, 32 homers, 84 RBIs, like 154 hits, like OPS of 959. Like that's unfreaking believable.
I think he's a great player. I think I love Springer. He's
a World Series MVP. You can't take that away from him.
No, World Series MVP. I don't care what you say. And I grew up in LA. I'm LA. I had a shit ton of Dodger fans, and they complain about the Astros all the time cheating. I've literally told people they did it against the Yankees. The Yankees went into Yankee Stadium in 2017 up 3-2 and lost game 6 and 7 and lost 3-2 or they scored 1 run in game 7, 1 or 2 runs. I'm like, at the end of the day, they didn't hit the ball. They weren't doing that on defense. I mean, it's only so much. I'm like, hey, the Yankees, I'm like, yeah, they're doing that. And at the end of the day, if you're really a baseball fan, you know, every team was doing that in some circumstance. Every team was. You're telling me the Astros, the only one who was like, hey, we got this great idea. Yeah, somebody was. I'm telling you, they were doing that if there's no evidence on it or not. Everybody was doing it. They just took it to another level. But I mean, like the Yankees were right there. They didn't hit the ball. Yeah. That is, I mean, you didn't score the runs. I mean, you got shut down when you had Keuchel and Verlander, who was lights out at that time. So I'm not. I mean, like I was like, they're still the best team. The Red Sox did it the next year. I'm like, hey, okay, cheating's part of baseball.
Oh, what? Oh, well, that was a hit.
Please go. Say yes. I might have to get off in the 9th. But, I mean, who got that knock? Is that Volpe? Is that Volpe?
Absolutely. But what do you think of Jazz?
Austin Wells, the guy I crap on so much.
He's not a great player. He's not a great player.
No. And you know, he was only a part-time catcher in college.
Yeah.
He split in college. Yeah. Nobody knows that. And if you look at his scouting report going into the MLB draft, they said he's probably more suited to play first base or the outfield.
Yeah. By the way, I meant to ask you, since you have the stash, why do so many players just go with the stash? Like, I'm looking at Nathaniel Lowe, and I feel like I'm looking at Clu Haywood from Major League. And what's with the freaking turtleneck? What's with the turtleneck T-shirt? Can you explain to me what the point of wearing a turtleneck T-shirt is, Nathaniel Lowe? What is that? He looks ridiculous. He's trying to go back to circa 1980 to play baseball, Nathaniel Lowe.
Honestly, so nice. Volpe, for a guy who had such a crap year, Volpe is finally starting to turn it on.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
the advantage makes a difference.
Oh yeah. But I mean, he got crapped on for 3.5 months, and I mean, in this day and age,
you own a Yankee jersey?
No. If
you don't have one Yankee jersey?
No.
And you're a Yankee fan?
I wouldn't own. I'd own a Yankees T-shirt.
Why would you never own one jersey?
I've owned them. I just don't have. Unfortunately.
You have a Jets jersey?
Not anymore. No.
Do you have any sports jerseys?
Nope.
You're just not that loyal?
Are you? Dude, I just did.
I remember a quiz for you. Who were my two favorite Expos?
Vlad and Tim Raines.
Two jerseys in the cupboard.
I got my
one
hats.
Raines and one Raines and one Guerrero.
I got my hats. I got my.
I showed this to the show. I have 9 Expos hats and I have 5 Jays hats. When I support my team, I support. But by the way, I hope that they wear this hat throughout the playoff. I love this is the old school one. I hope they actually wear that uniform, the blue and the white, with this throughout the playoff. I think it's going to make a big the kind of uniform you wear in a series. I think makes a very big difference.
Honestly, Fistanza, right now my priority for
spending
for spending money is not really going to the Yankees jerseys. I got a little more priorities right now.
Maybe. I know, but one jersey of one team. Come on.
Yeah.
I even have I got a Yankees t-shirt when I was in New York.
So like I will never wear another team's. Never wear it. First off, I'll never wear a basketball like a guy who's got a basketball jersey like this as a grown man drives me absolutely.
Oh, I have a friend who literally he's a little younger, has a kid. He only wears basketball jerseys. Like it's his actual t-shirt. He has about 50 of them, and he only wears basketball jerseys. And I go, why are you wearing a tank top every single day of your life? It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
It drives me nuts. I have a friend who does it. I'm like, please, dude, if you're gonna wear a jersey, at least put an undershirt on.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're a grown man.
Exactly.
But
at least in basketball now they wear the longer shorts. Back in the 80s, oh my God, what were they?
They're coming back. They're coming like a little shorter.
Forget that. I don't get the men who wear shorts that don't hit the knee. I don't understand.
I go right above.
It can't. Yes, but it can't go. It has to hit the knee.
I'm not showing my thighs.
No, it has to hit the knee, please.
Yeah.
What has Judge done today?
Nothing.
What do you think of the oven mitts?
I think they're becoming a problem.
Why do you say that?
Because players can't stop. Players are starting to slide off the bag because they can't stop.
Yeah, there's no grip.
There's not. Yeah,
they're doing it to protect. I know they're doing it to protect their fingers. Yeah, but there's no grip, right?
What were the players back in the day doing? The amount of jammed fingers I had.
If you remember, they used to hold. Some of them used to hold their gloves. They used to take their batting gloves off and hold them.
Yeah, so I mean, the amount of jammed fingers I had from sliding into the base.
Never remember.
So it's just like it's becoming a problem now where players are sliding, literally can't stop because they slide with one. Nobody slides feet first anymore.
No, I don't understand it.
So I mean, it's just bizarre. But like we said, it's the best time. Even if it's unbelievable.
Do you have a prediction? Do you have a prediction of the playoffs?
In the playoffs, my prediction is Phillies, and I have no clue in the AL. But I think it's going to be Phillies in the NL.
Okay.
I think
it's honestly, it's really a choice between. Honestly, it's really. I don't think the Brewers have it yet.
I think, in my opinion, I think whoever wins this series and wins the ALDS from this side of the bracket will make the World Series. I don't think.
If I had to put my money down, I think it's going to be a repeat of the '93 World Series. But I could see, honestly, this could be, Cal Raleigh. Like, I don't know what to say about that guy. That guy is just something else. I don't know how he came out of freaking nowhere. To have 60 home runs as a catcher switching in catcher is not normal.
I think
I don't trust the Mariners. I don't trust. I honestly, I could see a Jays Phillies World Series. If they get Bichette back, it could be very well in their hands.
I think it comes from this side, so it's either going to be Boston. It's going to be Boston, Toronto, or the Yankees. I just don't trust the Mariners.
I don't think the Red Sox have the wheels. I think that you could do it with the long ball if you win this series. But at the same, I don't think the Red Sox have what it takes from a pitch. They have Crochet, and they have Chapman, but
you lost Giolito too, which is.
Yeah. But they have Crochet, and they have Bregman, but they don't have a consistent. look tonight, like they're giving things up. They're inconsistent. They have not been consistent.
Also, they lost Roman Anthony, who was playing.
When they brought him up, he was phenomenal.
Who's from Miami? He's from Stoneman Douglas High School.
Really?
And I don't know where it is in Miami. I've never actually been to Miami, but
wait, you've never been to Miami?
No.
You've never come. You live in Florida. You've never gone down south. Well, and how long have you been in Brighton?
2 years.
And you were where before? You were still in California?
I was in Nashville.
Oh, so you were near Bobby.
Yeah, this is before we met.
That was for work, or?
Yeah, I moved out there, change of scenery. I moved out there and started doing a college football podcast, and we just did like Spotify. And then the year I moved, we jumped on the network. Bobby knew Justin, who's the guy who
Justin Burley or the other one?
No, Garfield is
Garfield, yeah.
He knew Bobby and they connected, but like the minute I met Bobby, he's like, "Oh, I'm in Franklin." I'm like, "Oh, I just moved from Tennessee." So it would have been like, we would have been right there. Yeah. And now,
are you getting nervous? You want to go watch tonight?
Yeah, I'm getting nervous. All right. I think Costanza, I think you're going to be on with us a lot. I'm pumped.
Baseball playoffs, I'm here for you.
I'm pumped. I'm telling you.
And by the way, I'm happy to do. I can coordinate it with Bobby if the Yankees and the Jays.
Even if my Yankees aren't in it, and you tell me, hey,
no, I know that. But if the Yankees and the Jays play each other in the division, we could do we don't have to do a pregame. We could do maybe a pregame before the first game. But if you want to do like a post game after a game, even if like a 20, 30 minute quick snapshot, I'm happy to do that with you.
But I mean, I'm sure you're the same way. During the game, I don't really.
No, not during the game. I might text. I might troll you by text, but like I do with Greg and Brett and our football stuff. But if not, I'm happy to do post game shows for the playoffs.
100%. But want to thank you for coming on. I'm stoked you're going to be on here for the playoffs.
100% playoffs.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a great time. But I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight for another episode of On Deck here on FTSN. I'm Russ Morgan here with Costanza. You guys have a great night.
Like and subscribe, guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I always